PLC, as someone who's been doing this for about a year, the aggression, the constant fighting. You're absolutely right that not only is it something that we fall back on, but it's something that we are currently seeing in this tournament so far is just absolute slugfest back and forth, big fighting. We're going into the bans, going into the picks, Team Unknown versus the Fall Guys. Very much looking forward to it.
I'm pumped for this draft. I'm so excited. It is going to be the Fall Guys on red side and Team Unknown on blue side. We have it labeled a little bit, a little off. We'll fix that soon. But the Mundo ban is being thrown out immediately. That's something that you guys did as well in that previous game, which I think is smart, especially if you're going to keep going into these top tanks as a draft. Let's not face a top tank that can kind of run over every other top tank. Ornn can't really play against Mundo because he just kind of stat checks you and runs you over.
Draven ban.
And there's the Draven ban. And I'm expecting a Veigar ban as well. I mean, probably, right?
It is a very big comfort pick for them going in there. I have to laugh at you saying that you respected the Mundo ban. We absolutely were just panicking in our bans. So, I'm glad that our initial reaction was to pick someone good. I agree. I think Mundo is a good ban against them. It's a very big comfort pick for the Fall Guys as Anivia gets banned.
Yeah, that was something that they picked up when they last faced off against each other, was the Anivia. And, I mean, it looks kind of annoying, especially if, you like to team fight. Anivia's pretty frustrating to face because, she can get that Roa online, that Seraph's online, and kind of push you away and zone you away from engaging. And if you don't have, that dedicated of an engage tool, like maybe an Oran Horn, an Eclipse or a Leona ulti, Nautilus hook, Anivia will kind of just make you feel bad for even trying.
Yeah, two walled off mid laners being banned, and the Ornn is a solid one that Bear likes to take. A very nice comfort as Amumu gets locked in right away. And now we know this Amumu on Team Unknown to either be support or jungle, very flexible position for them, as Kiroro really likes to take that support down in the bottom lane.
And it's also a denial from Cubsy. He's shown that he's willing to play in the support position as well. He picked it against Nautilus previously as a counter, which I had some issues with. But hey, it's a denial, and I like that it's a flex. It's a cool early pick to be able to not really lock down on any identity just yet. Volibear being picked up on the other side, however, so that's a pretty safe pick. I feel like Volibear so far has shown a lot of strength in this tournament.
I think Bubble Bass is going to have a really good time with top lane. There's a lot of ways that you can build Volibear. You can get very beefy. So a lot of AP builds going out there, a lot of ability reset ones. Knowing that we don't, not knowing who the top lane is, blind picking that shows their confidence in being able to take Volibear. I think there's a lot of good responses against Volibear, but East Phantom is going to take it anyways. There's a chance that we take him jungle, but we don't know quite yet. Shen, another big supporty champion coming into Team Unknown. I think we're going to have the big bombastic team fights like we were talking about.
Yeah, it's interesting, but also not, to me, so far with Fall Guys, I'm assuming Volibear is going jungle. I would say 9 times out of 10 it's going to go jungle with this meta right now. Volibear and Thresh kind of don't team fight the same way.
Don't do the same thing.
And Thresh, if also Amumu, okay, as a support player, and when I played competitive when Amumu was the thing, when that was super OP. Playing Thresh into Amumu is actually the most impossible thing in the world because you can't play him out because it's a stun instantly. So unless you time it perfectly, you can't flame out, but that stun is still lasting further. So you have to buy Merc Treads to have that interaction. But then he already has the angle to be able to flash curse to the Sad Mummy. And so you can't deny it like you can with Leona E or Nautilus Hook even. And so far, the Thresh pick feels awkward. It also limits the 80 carries that the Fall Guys might want to be picking. But with the Ezreal being picked up as well, I'm assuming the Fall Guys are going to maybe lean into a Jhin, which is something that they loved. They picked it first earlier in the tournament. So that's maybe where I'm looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like a pinch coming in from the Fall Guys. It's very interesting you bring up the ADC. I would not want to play ADC against the team that I'm seeing so far.
No.
It's just going to be a
Vayne.
bad time. Vayne is going to that's a Vayne pick. Your invincibility is only like a half second, dude.
I'm not gonna lie. Chess, I don't know if you know this. Vayne has been picked every game except for your game, and I just don't get the hype. I want to see it. I want to see the angle, but yeah, I was gonna say you're playing with Thresh blind. The support counter pick is gonna be pretty brutal. Vayne in a vacuum is good into Ezreal because you can just run him down. If your Arcane shifts away, you have that Night Hunter movement speed towards him and run him down. But also, there's 4 other champions in the game.
Yeah.
And, oh my god, is it Ezreal mid or is it Kai'Sa mid?
That might be an Ezreal mid. So far, we've seen Calavir go with the Kai'Sa in our game with what's my team name? Krug Killers. But it's going to be again very, very difficult for Vayne to do much. Now, if Vayne can pop off, against a Shen, against a Braum, I'm still just I'm doubting it. But Fall Guys are 3-0. Maybe they know something we don't know, and we're gonna go.
This is literally every single conversation that you were missing while you were playing. Is me and Admin Anonymous were like, that comp seems a little difficult to play, but they can figure it out. And somehow every single time they just pull out a win, and they just look better. So I don't know. Right now, Team Unknown's range of the Kai'Sa poke and the Ezreal poke and having Amumu, Shen, and Braum to be able to deny any sort of engage is looking really good, especially because Fall Guys' engage is what? Volibear Q, Thresh Hook, maybe a set Flash E.
Maybe they're just banking on them coming at them, but again, even on the enemy team, right? Yeah, Amumu is like their only engage. So an Ezreal, a Kai'Sa. I think this has been a very good draft from Team Unknown, and Fall Guys are the 3-0 team. So we'll see. Maybe there's something we're missing, but
I will say, when they faced off against each other, I very much favored Team Unknown's draft. I thought the Fall Guys draft was very weird. I think actually Fall Guys was playing Volibear. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Alpha Milk on Volibear previously. So, I'm getting a little bit of deja vu. However, I think Team Unknown's comp pilots easier, which is what I'm seeing as a trend that we're seeing in this league, is what draft is easier to play. Sure, it could be better or worse, but what is easier to play? And right now, I think Team Unknown's is easier to play because Vayne and Victor as your only real damage sources, that's some pretty unreliable damage.
Right. It's powerful damage. It's potent damage, but it's very interesting that you mentioned the easier to play. Especially when we're comparing again, Worlds is going on right now, and if we're comparing team comps that go into Worlds, even though we're on a different patch, even though all that. We are not pros. We're not playing in bombastic teams, and that's kind of the special sauce of PLC. Like if you are thinking about playing this game or in PLC tournaments, like the things that are good for us are not necessarily the things that the pros are doing, because we can't do every single trick that they do. You might be able to do some of them, and you might have some of the communication skills, but favoring a simpler team comp has credence, has power to it. Absolutely. That's why we love PLC.
Yeah, no, and I was talking to with Admin about this as well, and is also comfort. How much of these champs do you play, and do you know them more than the other team? That's why in the pro play there is no one tricks. I mean, yeah. Kind of, 369 plays Renekton in every or in every game, but they don't just perma ban the one trick. They ban what is OP because they know matchups like the back of their hand. They know every matchup and they know OPs. Here, if I'm a Shen one trick and my enemy player, there's a good chance the enemy team has never played against Shen. That's why FlyQuest beat HLE. They picked Nunu and they had HLA had no idea what Nunu was doing. They literally Doran TP'd in front of Nunu with E active because he didn't know that Nunu had a root. Like that is genuinely what happened. And so in PLC, it's something similar where these players, you know, maybe these comps are a little bit misaligned or don't have a similar identity, but do you know how your champion plays better than the other team? That's always going to be a better advantage.
100%. And the clips that come from those kind of games where they pull out the Nunu and the clips from that game are hysterical. But yeah, absolutely. Going into the first game of our finals, Team Unknown versus the Fall Guys. Absolutely excited as they roll out. Possible invade almost immediately as all 5 of the Fall Guys are running in. We've seen it before. Me personally.
True.
We'll see it again.
Also, the Fall Guys, every single game, 5-stack. They have 5-stack every single game. Again, weird, but your game was the only game where they did something on the 5-stack. They invaded. Every other game, they have sat in the same bush. It was either bot try when they're on blue side or this bush here, and they just chill. Me personally, you know, I don't think Team Unknown has that many tools to invade with. Maybe a Mumu Q, but then your Mumu has to start Q on his clear, which feels pretty sad. I mean,
it is part of his identity.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe it gives him a buff.
There it is. Absolutely. But you know, it allows them to catch a straggler off. You know, as they sit in that bush, I'm just sitting here thinking that could have been my team walking into the meat grinder right there.
Yep.
And we just coin flips, you know, in a very interesting way. That's for sure. But as it goes, a quick little leash and until lanes and we're off. Noting that the Kai'Sa did go mid and the Ezreal did go bot side.
Yeah, so that was going to be my question for you, and I think our discussion point, because I don't think there's going to be that much that happens in this early game, is how is this Kai'Sa build going to be looking? I've seen some people that go full AP go into Manamune, into like a Luden's Companion, and then go from there. But also there's the current Kai'Sa build that every AD carry is going of the Guinsoo into some AP from there. Nashers, I believe. I don't know. Is your end also lag? Okay, cool. We're back. We're good. It's just a little freeze. But yeah, my question is she going, or is the Kai'Sa going dedicated AP, or is it going to be that hybrid build that everyone else is doing?
It's so funny you asked me that. I think when Kai'Sa came out, I was like one of the guys who like studied every optional, you know, back and forth, and I think I have completely lost that. And I'm kind of I'm looking at the team, and as we were talking about with the Fall Guys, the only source of damages that we have is Ezreal and Kai'Sa, who both have the kind of option to go a little bit more AD, a little bit more AP. So I'm assuming that she'll go heavier on the AP side to get some more of that magic damage and kind of balance things out. Now, I don't think that there's any reason, especially with how crazy the comps are, big fight going on top side. Chunky hits going.
We gotta dodge those. Oh my god. And I'm called a hairmaker for nothing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But like I was saying, I think she could swing either way. And unless we have a precedent, which I was definitely not paying attention enough in the other games, it is a hard call to make.
I mean, the only precedent is that the hybrid build is the most popular. But it's just because it's the most versatile, right? You can, it's a lot of good auto attacks, but once you get 3 item, then you can also play off of good AP poke. In my opinion, I don't know. I'm going back and forth on it as top lane just keeps going back and forth. The most volatile part of the map, it seems. But I don't know. I'm going back and forth. Like if I'm Kai'Sa in this game, I'm really, because theoretically, if I'm playing full poke, I don't think I'm ever going to get punished for it, because they don't have any way to get on top of me. But is my team going to play off of that poke properly? Are we going to be playing slow enough where we're playing through every W? But speaking of playing through, we're playing through bot lane. Calavier might be able to get that last concussive blow, and it's popped. The cleanse is too late as the last auto goes through, and the Braum Q is going to be the icing on the cake, taking down Cubsy, and Team Unknown is ready for vengeance already.
Very, very clean tower dive. Turret shots all planned as they go. And, you know, that is a very scary thing for the Fall Guys who we're already very critical of. in the draft, but we'd love to see them pull it back around. And as you were talking about with the Kaisa, the Kaisa being in a poke build with Ezreal, who are you gonna have more poke than with an Ezreal comp? And then just a defense wall between Shen, between Braum, all these vanguards that are protecting you while you whittle down the towers, the champions, and
Right.
just moving on from there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just I love how low these two are. Set wants to fight. He's got that regen that is absolutely crazy, and keeping themselves at half health. This is the Warwick wet dream, as I like to call it. Just being able to,
Already have that
to
blood
stay
scent
low
going.
and get that blood scent everywhere across the map. But loving to keep it low, very dangerous from ganks on both sides. And we've already seen a tower dive so far in this game, so very, very dangerous. But
yeah. Good on East Phantom, identifying that both junglers are going towards their top side once again. Bad guy Teemo took the Gromp and then explored towards the top side. Maybe could have skipped Gromp and gotten a timing there, but, I think it's better safe to just secure the camp, then explore, see that there's nothing there, and then go back to the rest of your camps and potentially out-farm someone like this Volibear, who is already in the lead in terms of camps because of a little bit of a steal, I believe, of a camp while Amumu was playing towards bot side. But with the lead that he has, it's going to secure them grubs.
Yeah, and very, very clean. They're not going to be contested on this either. Team Unknown is very solidly taking down these objectives and playing very, very well for that. Good hook dodged right there. Got the push going top side. Things are going Team Unknown's way. They've got a solid almost 1k gold lead. This is just a kind of nice comfort. This is where things could go bad, but honestly, if they're able to write it out like this is a great place to be in the early portion of the game. But pre-10 minutes, 2 kills under their belt. Absolutely loving it. A big gank in the mid lane.
Going bad. Cubsy is rolling up. Has no flash available, so no flash flay, but it's going to be a 50-50 hook, but he finds a Mumu instead of Death. Condemned to the wall with the Death Ray on top of it, and Elijah V1 finds his first kill. And on the top side, East Phantom gets a solo bolo against Bear. Punishing that, and now it's going to secure a dragon for the Fall Guys. It's a cross-map play for them, They got the 3 grubs. We'll take the dragon.
And we see it all the time. You take one, we'll take the other. Very, very good call on Cub Zero to be able to identify the threat coming in. Looks like another fight as more harassment comes. I just love that this Cub Zero looks like he's going for one person and immediately tries to hook the Ezreal over and over again. And, Cub Zero's got 2 eyes going 2 directions, able to look at one person and hook the other way. You gotta watch it.
It's a very nice way of saying that he lost the 50-50 on the Thresh hook.
Yeah.
In my brain as an old Thresh player, I was like, oh, he didn't do the 50-50, right? Because it's a game against Thresh, right? You get flayed, and it's either you go right or you go left, and it's up to the Thresh to predict if you go right or left after the flay.
Certainly.
So I think he could have also been looking for Calavir and posted on Twitter and been like, look at this sick hook that I did totally intentionally. But speaking of sick things, it's going to be a big bear taking a lot of damage. That's going to force the ulti, which means that, these teams or these players like Bear who are stuck under their tower, feeling a lot safer with that being off the board.
Certainly, that has never, in my experience, prevented a Volibear from absolutely tower diving anyways. But you know what? Hopefully they should feel a little bit more safe. As things start to even out, Amumu coming in from the side
finds the Benetosh, gets double ulti, concussive blows, and the True Shot Barrage right on top of it. That is a lot of AP damage, especially when the Amumu passive is able to make it true damage. Double kill for Calavir, and that is a lot of gold going into the hands of this Ezreal.
It's they're just funneling money to Calavir. It seems like they play around him almost every single game, and here they are 3-0. And it is bot is feeling not great right now at all.
No, not at all. I mean, top isn't feeling great either, but I will say I love this play from Team Unknown because they're identifying that, hey, our Ezreal is really our biggest win condition this game. Because look at, we talked about this a little bit in draft, but Fall Guys don't really have. Oh no, we're the flash away. It's forcing the flash from Set as well. The taunt isn't able to secure the kill, but a good outplay to continue to maintain that wave state. But Alpha Milk wants a piece of the puzzle, has flash available, no Stormbringer. And so this is going to slow down the dive. He can't just run at them and deny the tower and then get the kill. So it allows Bear to flee away and actually get some support.
It's that comfort that you were talking about, using that ult.
Oh my
can't gank, and they're coming in there.
That bandage toss lands, and the concussive blow procs, and that gives Death a kill. So the two carries of Team Unknown are just getting some big paychecks.
Absolutely. Amumu's where he needs to be at the right times. He's fallen a little bit behind on CS, and this is why, is because he's got 4 assists already in a 10-minute game, and is just in the right spot at the right. And I again want to give props to Bear. Being calm in a very difficult lane. Calvier able to poke the bot lane anyways, keep them off the still losing a little bit of the plate, but that is okay. Got 3 people on the bot side, though. This could turn ugly fast if Victor is going to lose anyways.
I will say, and this is one thing about this Thresh pick as well, is making these forced dives and these cross maps are actually a lot harder to force with Thresh, because it's just walk at you slowly with Flay and then get that 50-50 hook going, or just land a hook. But all of those are unreliable, especially with like the meta right now being things like Rel, Leona, Alistar as the supports that are mostly being picked. Those all feel a lot more secure of CC rather than Thresh. And so Calvier is able to just sit under tower and chill. He doesn't even have cleanse, and so far he hasn't been punished for it.
He doesn't have cleanse, and yeah, he's going to get away with that. If he's that confident against the Thresh, to be able to have that extra 200 health in every fight is absolutely crazy. Looks like they might try to go into that. He lands the hook, but and goes in.
Yeah, I mean, Volibear is around. The concussive blows are going to be able to stun that Thresh. Elijah's pretty low mana, but here comes Alpha Milk. The flash into the Stormbringer. The Shen ulti is going to keep Yoro alive, and it's going to make Alpha Milk pay with his life. Elijah V1 able to flash forward and get a shutdown on Ezreal, but that gives Bear another kill into his hands. So far, pretty good for Team Unknown.
Honestly, a 500 gold inject is pretty good for a Vayne, but yes, absolutely, things are still going their way. Almost 1,000 gold more on the side of Team Unknown. Looks like we have a little bit of a lane swap going on. The same aggression does not work against the Kai'Sa, who just won't interact with you.
Yeah, or just can space the living hell of you. But when he gets the showstopper and the 1-2 Tiamat ticking you away, give me some more tower plates, because that's a Shen that hasn't recalled yet and doesn't have teleport either.
Ugh, it's not feeling good in that regard at all. Dragon spawning, excuse me. Things going their way. Volibear, sorry, messing up a little bit there. But yeah, very, very exciting. The Fall Guys, known for their ability to kind of turn things around in the mid game, are definitely not out of this yet, as the gold kind of resets as the island that is not top is actually drawing the attention of a lot of these players. Shen teleporting bot side ended up costing them a little bit because of the plays on set. You've got to respect them. No vision on this dragon, as our wonderful observers have shown here. They might be able to take it without any contesting, but what are you going to do anyways? The Ezreal is so fed as is, already has that Trinity Force, as it will go down to Team Unknown.
I will say, as much as the set is getting strong, it's Team Unknown playing into their win condition, and the Fall Guys forced to kind of play that cross map, right? Ezreal is still getting funneled a lot of gold, and he is the win condition. He is the backbone of this team comp. Bear is willing to lose some resources as long as Calvier is able to get resources as well. Once Calvier is able to get second item, third item, from there he's going to be unstoppable, because the Fall Guys don't have any way to kill him. Speaking of killing, though, it's going to be a kill towards Cubsy. Bad guy Teemo getting knocked against the wall with the Condemn, but not until he finds 2. Death has flown in with the Prey Seeker and looks for more. The concussive blows is going to make Kai'Sa go down, or Vayne go down, excuse me, and Calvier wants more blood. The last auto is going to find it. Lock and Load finds 3, but that's a 5-1 Ezreal and a 3-2 Kai'Sa. But top lane got solo boloed by East Phantom. So it's a 4 for 4 overall.
And the first turret gold going over to the set. You know, honestly though, like set being able to take a first turret, that is going to be a pressure point on the top side for the rest of the game. And we have an Ezreal who is 5-1. All the focus, all the attention, all the dives that went for the Fall Guys, and ignoring the Ezreal is exactly what you don't want to see. A lot of money injected onto both teams, but onto characters that look a lot better on the side of Team Unknown than it looks on the Fall Guys. We'll see if the set is able to hold on to that killing spree advantage and really pressure top, or if it'll be more difficult than that. A big fight around the Rift Herald.
Pressure up top. Yeah, they are going a little bit too extended. The Shen ulti is going to be giving them a little bit of leeway, but here comes the carries. If Calavir is able to get the set shut down, it could be massive, but he's able to flash away, and so do the rest of the members of the Fall Guys. They're able to get big guy Teemo, but with lock and load down towards bot with no TP, it's actually going to secure them the Rift Herald without the jungler, without the smite. And with the spikes that are being found of Team Unknown, they're going to keep pushing that point forward.
I gotta love that little moment. Hey, is someone gonna pick that up? We just had that big fight around it as Team Unknown secures that Rift Herald. That's going to be a pressure. That's a turning point on the turrets. That the Fall Guys are going to need to worry about now. As they were doing all these cross-map plays, as they were splitting their attention everywhere, is going to be all the worse if they're looking at the wrong way. If Braum is able to put down that Rift Herald right before one of these split attention plays, it's very dangerous.
Stridebreaker is going to slow death, but no more stun. The minions are gone, but it's not going to matter when you have the Showstopper. Prey Seeker to get away, get some space, but there is no tower to flee from. There is a flash available for death, and the movement speed might just be enough. The E to get a little bit more distance. The Stridebreaker is going to go far, and it's going to be a little bit more of a trade back, some damage down, a passive proc. As the Prey Seeker helps with that, but no W evolve just yet. It's just a back and forth. It's looking like Viper. He's spaced them quite well, but a Haymaker is available from East Phantom. No flash though, so Death is able to walk back up. But I mean, no flash down from Death. It's just ult for ult trade. But as we go into the mid lane, there's no time to breathe as Calavir is down to 1 HP. Alpha Milk trying to secure that kill. The smite is not going to be enough. The Concussive Blows is going to maybe cost him his life, but it's not. He's going to find the shield, and the hook from bad guy Teemo is going to secure the kill. The chop to take him down, but here comes another teleport. It's going back and forth. The top laners that were just fighting for 15 minutes are back for another kerfuffle, but this time there's a couple teammates. Stridebreaker slow going through, but it's going to kill the minions, so no stun there available. The Lantern to get him out, and Lock and Load showing up to say what's up to the party.
East Phantom is not scared of anything. You're running like straight into them. They say, what is your poke comp? Like, what can you do against me? That entire fight with the top side, he had no vision in the top lane. Had a confirmation of a lot of players on the bot side of the map, but just absolutely running it all the way down. And then teleporting in and saying, I don't even know who's fighting. I'm just here to fight people. Doing a brilliant job with it as well. Still 3-0, still able to keep that killing spree advantage, and is still struggling to take anything more than first turret. Absolutely. You know, the Fall Guys are looking for some kind of foothold. Dragon going to be spawning in pretty soon here. You have to wonder what is going through their head as far as trying to take the next thing. Can they pick someone off? No, they're playing very safe. Can they get an objective? But now they're responding in all the right ways, and there's that Rift Herald that we were talking about beforehand.
And the poke from Team Unknown is also starting to really come online. The Mana Mune is about to turn to Muramana. There it is, the Muramana online. Ginsu's is also finished from death, so he's really close to getting that W evolve. We've been talking about this poke comp and how it's just, you know, keep him at range, but it does take time to get this poke comp online. And now we're seeing also Fall Guys have a lack of that engage tool. And we're seeing it. They have such long range of Team Unknown. The only engage tool is on this Braum, but he's okay with tanking these hooks because that's going to allow them to get more sustained damage. But it's actually death being found from Alpha Milk. Ooh. He's going to be shut down, but it might be traded away as Bear is giving them a little bit more space. Kioro is being mauled by this Bear, however. Calavir is still not enough to be able to shut it down, and it's giving Elijah and Lock and Load a lot of time and a lot of space to eventually run them all down. That last auto going onto Cubsy instead of the Vayne, and so he's going to stay alive and tell the tale. Bad guy Teemo not peeling for his team, and it's going to cost them the dragon and a lot more.
Wow, I don't think there are very few ways that could have gone worse for Team Unknown. Getting pulled apart like they did, the bear able to just, there's like a sense of a disrespect from Team Unknown, or at least a lack of respect in these characters. If they were able to space them, if they were able to prevent these engages, it would allow them to not take these terrible trades, losing dragon, losing tower, and lots of death.
Ooh, but here comes the TP from behind. Bear is looking for blood. Team Unknown does not want to give up just yet. The heart's still proc. Gonna go on Cubsy, but the slows and the slow field of Victor is gonna grant them safe passage away, and as they lick their wounds and try to get something out of this, Elijah's recalling on a bush. The bandage toss is going to cancel it, but no one is there to really punish it. Bear with no flash might be able to find some vision on Elijah, and so it's just going to be a matter of time. There's a chance that Elijah's able to maybe get executed, but with that step back, that gives Bear enough time to just be able to get that taunt down. And that also gives time for Calaver and Kyoro to push down mid and get some objectives.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge gold injection from those last couple of fights to the Fall Guys, but Team Unknown is able to kind of make the best of it as they come off base and go all that. I'm surprised. I guess I have not been paying enough attention to the Shen, who is 4-3 now, being able to chase things down. But of the people that you want the kills on, Shen is got a heart steal, not too much. So all this gold injection is this might be the turning point that we were doubting, that we were doubtful of at the beginning of the game, of if the Fall Guys are able to make it. Get this strike break.
Oh, great ulti away from the stun, but the showstopper is just gonna chunk him down, and there's the haymaker to secure the kill. Bad guy Teemo wants a piece of the champ, but the champ is 4 levels ahead. He's still a little bit worried of that Leandri's proc, though, so he's going to flash away and secure his life for another day.
Certainly. It's probably a fight that he could have taken. I'm definitely no set expert, but the health regen alone allows you to just pretend like your HP doesn't even exist, if nothing else, against an Amumu, who does have an AP item, but lots of stuff going on.
He has no hook. Oh, he could have easily. That hook is still on cooldown. He could have easily gotten at least a really big chunk, especially with Set being top, still haven't reset from that previous play, and vision of the bot lane. But that's just my Ezreal brain. I Ooga Booga just all in everyone. I see.
I was gonna say your Thresh main is really starting to show.
Oh, that's it. I've had to face way too many Threshes.
Oh, too funny. And it's interesting. I wanted to follow back up at the beginning of the game, looking at the Kai'Sa's build now with the Rage Blade and the I'm forgetting the name of that item there.
Shiv.
But definitely more of an on-hit style. Less of that AP.
It's
very interesting.
It's that hybrid build. So the W evolve is not going to come in just yet. Nashor's is the third item that they go. And once you get Fiendish Codex, which is that upgrade of the Amp Tome, that's when the W Evolve comes on. But on the last reset, Death got the Recurve Bow instead of the Fiendish Codex. So maybe it's just I want my Recurve Bow and not knowing that that's when the Evolve comes through, or maybe just not wanting to play for the poke and wanting the attack speed instead. But I think that's why Death keeps getting caught in these fights, is Death keeps trying to go to Volibear and attacking him, and literally just going auto onto Alpha Milk, and that allows him to just sprint at her and kill her.
Right, and it's something like I would like more poke in these fights so far. Having the reset of the W would be absolutely brutal, let alone the extra stacks of your passive. It's something that, man, it's such a minor thing, and at the exact same time, it really feels like it would change the flow of these fights, especially with how heavily they're leaning into their poke comp. It really just feels like they're kind of bleeding out, and it's from decisions that I think are similar to that. But that doesn't mean that they're not that playing to good objective. This set is just brutal, man.
Yeah, I mean, Death cannot do anything about it. The Shen ulti is forced to be used, and maybe there's the taunt gonna go down, but still this guy is tanky as hell. The Haymaker, even without the true damage, is able to take down Death, but there's Shen getting the shutdown with Calavir right there. The gold injection towards the Shen instead of to the Ezreal, who's close to 3 item. That's gonna sting, but hey, it's still 4-4, and that's the win condition of the Fall Guys down. Whereas there's still a carry on the side of Team Unknown to play through as Dragon spawns. Doesn't look like they're gonna contest though.
Yeah, and honestly, the CS lead of the Fall Guys is starting to widen such to the point that one objective, a couple of towers, is giving them so much more money on their side. It feels like if you were to just look at those scores that the Fall Guys aren't doing as well, but they're really doing very strong right now. A lot of powerful items coming out, a Hull Breaker coming out on the set. The Victor is actually doing very good. Someone that I feel like we have not talked about much about at all, but having some very, very powerful damage items in here. The Fall Guys have a presence that they can start bringing to Baron fights, bringing to fights, and it really kind of feels like the poke comp is starting to see cracks, is starting to feel the weight.
Yeah. Well, I would even argue that the biggest flaw of this poke comp that Team Unknown has built is also the lack of wave control. Their mid lane mage, which is usually the person that is good at wave clearing, is a Kai'Sa, who is required to go into range of the wave to clear it with the Prey Seekers, which means that they don't have an answer for set. We keep seeing it. Death is trying to answer set, but look, he's going to try and clear the wave. It's static shift rocks on Qs, and that allows East Phantom to be able to get the E off of it, because that's exactly how set wants to play. Force you to play into your wave, and then I can stun off of it and just combo you and run you down with Stridebreaker. The only other wave clear that they really have is maybe Ezreal poke and a True Shot Barrage, but I don't think Team Unknown wants that Ezreal to be stuck in side lane the whole game.
Yeah, and any poke that you're shooting towards the minions is poke that you're not sending towards the enemy, the champions. It's one of those things that feels like this game is slipping as they go. As it just feels like Death is hitting a brick wall, just does not care. East Phantom keeps walking up saying, "I'm gonna try to hit you with a Stridebreaker, and if I do, then you're dead. Otherwise, I'm gonna walk away, and I'm gonna let this massive health regen just take me back." Man, his health regen is insane.
It's bonkers. No, it's dumb. And also a Hull Breaker gives, I believe, 150% health regen as well. So, but that health regen and that prio mid and top is actually going to lead them to go for a Baron. This is a little worrisome because as a poke comp, they're able to get some damage down, but it's a little too late. The Curse of the Sad Mummy is going to go down on 1, and it's going to be a front to back. East Phantom finds 3. Death is forced to Prey Seeker away, but Calavir and Death just can't do enough damage. They're playing away from their carries. The Amumu is not playing a front to back. Fall Guys, once again, pull a team fight out of what we thought is nowhere and might just secure themselves another game.
And clearly, we as shoutcasters are at fault for not seeing the 3 or 4 man stun across their entire team.
Sorry guys, I didn't see that one coming.
Like our bad. Holy cow, that dismantled their entire team without even being able to respond to it. They're going to get so much from this as all 5 team members are up for the Fall Guys. Might be going straight for the Nexus.
I think they
a couple
just
of team members of the Team Unknown. A Bear inhibitor might be able to even end it right now where they are. And we're going to end the first game of the finals with an absolutely bombastic team fight from the Fall Guys. How could we not see it? Clearly it was there the whole time.
I'm so sorry. I will be making a YouTube video about this, apologizing to the Fall Guys for disrespecting your team fighting skills, especially when it is set somehow getting on top of an Ezreal and Kai'Sa and finding a 4-man Skull Crusher in just the middle of Baron Pit. My God, the Fall Guys find a 4th win in a row, and it doesn't seem like their momentum really is going to stop.